Paolo Bacigalupi's Shipbreaker, 2010, a young adult dystopian novel, was a finalist for the National Book Award for Young People's Literature and earned both the Locus Award for Best Young Adult Book and the Michael L. Prince Award for Young Adult Fiction. Set in a post-apocalyptic future in the United States, the story unfolds in a world ravaged by climate change and economic collapse, with the Chinese economy now dominating global affairs. Rising sea levels have submerged most coastal cities, including New Orleans, and the Gulf Coast is left struggling for survival. Divided into economic clans, the impoverished eke out a living scavenging materials from decaying tankers, relics of the industrial age. The 15-year-old protagonist, Naylor, works on a light crew responsible for salvaging valuable metals and wires from these wrecked ships. He lives with his drug and alcohol-addicted father, Richard Lopez, on a beach known as Bright Sands, his mother having died when he was a child. Though Naylor dreams of one day sailing on the sleek new clipper ships, he's stuck performing dangerous work to support his father, crawling through rusting shipwrecks to meet daily quotas. His best friend Pima, a 16-year-old girl, is his boss, and together they survive in a world where survival is hard-won. One day, while scavenging an unexplored part of a ship, Naylor falls through a duct into a room filled with oil. His crewmate Sloth finds him there but abandons him, leaving him to die so she can take his place in the salvage operation. Naylor escapes by opening a hatch, which ejects him and the oil into the open air, though not without injury, as a sharp metal shard strikes him. Pima's mother, Sadhna, tends to his wounds and ominously tells him that the fates have a purpose for him. As a hurricane nears, Naylor's father passes out from his addictions. Sadhna rescues him, while Naylor and Pima seek shelter in a cave. After 2 nights, the storm clears and the beach is left stripped bare. The teens scavenge for food, fishing and crabbing on a nearby barrier island. During this time, Naylor discovers a luxury personal clipper ship stranded on the shore, with only one survivor, Nita, a corporate heiress who, upon learning Naylor's nickname, Lucky Boy, calls herself Lucky Girl. Naylor and Pima see this as their chance to change their fortunes, believing the salvage from the ship is worth more than they could ever hope to make. But their luck quickly fades when Naylor's father, Richard, finds them and decides to kill Nita for the valuable salvage. Pima, however, fights back, attacking Richard with a knife. Naylor's father quickly disarms Pima, but he spares her life out of a sense of debt to Sadhna, who had saved him during the storm. He also chooses to spare Nita, recognizing that her family will pay a reward for her return. However, Naylor's wound from his ordeal in the tanker ship becomes infected, and he falls into a fevered sleep for 3 days while the antibiotics that Richard purchases gradually take effect. When he wakes, Nita is forced to admit that her family will not be rescuing her. She fled with the clipper ship crew after her uncle Pice orchestrated a hostile takeover of her father's corporation. If Pice's men catch her, they'll use her as leverage against her father. Determined to help her escape, Naylor plans their next move. After a violent confrontation, he kills Blue Eyes, a member of his father's crew. Sadhna and her team aid in their rescue, and afterward, Naylor resolves to help Nita find her father. They are joined by Tool, a genetically engineered half-man, and escape aboard a maglev train bound for Orleans 2. There, Nita and Naylor take menial jobs while they wait for a friendly ship from Nita's fleet. When the Dauntless, a clipper ship, arrives, Naylor spots his father at the docks. Believing Richard to be with the Dauntless, Naylor swims out to check the ship. Soon after, the Dauntless's captain kills his lieutenant, a spy working for Pice, and Naylor returns to fetch Nita from her hiding place. However, upon reaching her hiding spot, they learn from Tool that Richard has kidnapped Nita, now working for Pice. The Dauntless's captain, Candless, takes Naylor aboard, and they set out to track down the Ray, the ship they believe is holding Nita. While in pursuit, Naylor learns to read and work in the Dauntless's gear room. But when they finally catch up with the Ray, they discover that Nita is actually aboard the Polestar, a warship now chasing them. The Dauntless outmaneuvers the Polestar, running it aground in a fierce storm. While the Dauntless crew fights on the Polestar's deck, Naylor searches for Nita below. In a tense confrontation, Naylor faces his father, and in the struggle, he kills Richard in self-defense. Naylor then rescues Nita, and they narrowly escape the sinking pole star with Nita helping him swim to safety. The story ends with Naylor back at Bright Sands, preparing to sail north with Nita, Pima, and Sadna to join Nita's father. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.